Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase pricing and availability questions concerning this watch. And this watch is the Patek Philippe Cubitus 5822P001, launched in the fall of 2024. It was one of the first two watches in an all-new collection, Cubitus by Patek Philippe. It's got a little bit of Nautilus, a little bit of Aquanaut, a little bit of its own special style. But the watch was initially controversial, I think, because it was misunderstood. And we're going to go through some of those misunderstandings today. What I will say is that the nomenclature of this platinum watch, 5822P, is a whole lot easier than its official name, which is Cubitus Instantaneous Date, Day, and Moon Phases. Let's just shelve that for now. This is the 5822P, and a lot of people were up in arms over the alleged size of 45 millimeters. But here's the thing. It's an odd 45. I'm going to put it right next to my Dan Reuter DR02. These are the same distance from the camera. Watch on the left is a round watch at 42 millimeters, and the watch on the right is a 45 millimeter, well, Cubitus. And I can't tell you which one is larger, and I'm holding them. What I can tell you is that they look about the same, and if anything, the Cubitus wears a bit smaller. In terms of actual measurements, well, let's talk about that 45 millimeters. In theory, it's some sort of diagonal measurement. In reality, measuring diagonally, I get about 44.5, and if I measure wingtip to wingtip without the crown, then I get 43.9. If I measure end link to end link, the total horizontal distance across the wrist, that's going to be 50.5. It's 10 millimeters thick. It's 45 in diameter if we just want to go with the quoted size. And then on the wrist, you could see how far inboard of the edge of my wrist this case really is, and that's with a fairly stiff strap that hasn't been broken in. Stiff, unbroken, and oddly comprised of a layer of polymerized, it's almost like a rubber composite outboard. It looks like textile, but it is a hot stamped rubber of sorts. It has a contrasting stitch, and then internally you could see it features a leather liner. So a bit of an unusual composition in that it's not quite what it appears to be, but it is durable and it's a good aesthetic match for the watch. Taking a look at the clasps, you can see Cubitus, and it has a twin trigger release. You have to press both for it to pop open. It is a double fold, and you can see internally it is a platinum clasp. Patek giving you a platinum clasp on a platinum watch. Every brand should, not every brand does. Now, platinum Patek Philippe watches generally include a top Vesselton diamond between the lugs or down at 6 o'clock. What's different here is that it is rectangular. So the rectilinear theme continuing with a baguette diamond set down at 6 o'clock. A quick note about its weight. It is a massive machine, despite being a strap watch and fairly thin. Nevertheless, on my scale, 194.8 grams. So it is a redoubtable thing. Let's do a quick loom shot and get a sense of it in the dark. On a more water-resistant strap, it is suitable for swimming. You can see there's no shortage of lume. We have a dial with lateral Nautilus-like striations, though this particular blue is more like the blue we saw on the 40th anniversary and 50th anniversary Nautilus models than the sort of matte slate blue you see on something like a 5711. It is a brushed metallic grain, and then that on top of the lateral striations. We have applique white gold indices and hands. They won't tarnish or oxidize with time. And it is always tempting when you see this to say, oh, it's the 5712 movement. No, it's not. It's got the same 240 base caliber. But note the presence of a double-digit date and a day, a moon phase, and small second. There's no pointer date, there's no power reserve indicator, and it's only when you roll through the date change that you see one of the chief selling points of this movement in action, which is instantaneous jump, which is a harder thing to achieve than you might believe, and also a rare thing even at Patek Philippe. Now, all of the corrections are by pusher adjusters in the flanks, so in that sense, it's still old school. But that instantaneous jump is a big deal. Also, the moon phase, under the impression, is a perpetual calendar style, which means though this is not a perpetual calendar or an annual calendar, nevertheless the moon only requires one adjustment every 122 years. What I said about swimming, this is a screw-down crown, and now Patek Philippe watches are all rated 30 meters unless it's some sort of exotic chiming piece, which is generally 0. But if you were to put this on a water-resistant strap, 30 meters at Patek now means a real 30 meters, and with a case back this robust, and a crown that is screwed in. This is definitely a swimmable watch. Taking a look, it's finished to the standard of a Nautilus, which is to say it's more intricate and involved and time-consuming than an Aquanaut, so you can see where the money went in that regard. It is quite detailed. In terms of the case back of the watch, there's not a whole lot that is customized here. If you take a look, you can see that there's a rotor that's a bit unusual. So it has that lateral striation on the rotor, but just about everything else is standard current generation 240. So we've got a movement that's a automatic winder with a 22-karat micro rotor, which gives it a slim profile and a big display case back that's not blocked by a winding bridge or a rotor, but it gets the convenience of automatic winding. 3 hertz, 48-hour power reserve, Gyromax style free-sprung balance for shock resistance and precise adjustment, anti-magnetic concentric breathing, Spiromax hairspring, and this is the latest Spiromax, which breathes concentrically like an overcoil, though it is thin and shock resistant like a flat hairspring, and of course anti-magnetic with silicon. 6-position adjustment with Patek Philippe seal, that no means accurate, no worse than -1 + 2 seconds per 24 hours, so it is an exacting machine. Taking a look, the decoration is a combination of manual and mechanical application, though Patek does a good job of favoring the manual aspects to make it look more artisanal than, say, an identically priced Audemars Piguet or F.P. Journe would be. And it is an extensively jeweled movement with 52. You can see a combination of beveling on the edge of bridges, beveling in the screw and jewel sinks, polished screw heads with chamfered slots and circumference. We have engine turning on the base plate in several different sizes, stripes across the bridges perfectly aligned, and satination on the wheels. It is a good-looking movement, although not a particularly large one for a watch of this size. And what's fascinating is, if you look carefully at this case back, you can see that the construction has more in common with an old Nautilus 3700 than with some of the more recent models, because this case back, if you look very carefully, it actually doesn't have a separate component. There's no snap-in seam between the case back and then this sort of raised area. You can see that the raised area echoes the design of the bezel, which is a nice little touch, but the way it goes together is you've got sort of this mid-case and case back, and then you've got this bezel structure with its wings that clamps right down, just like the original Gerald Genta patent for the construction of the Nautilus. So in some ways, those who have been asking for the return of a monoblock case are going to be gratified by this watch. And once again, let me show you the wrist shot, just in case you don't believe this watch wears far smaller than 45 millimeters. It's nowhere near a 46 millimeter big pilot. It will easily fit underneath the cuff. The ergonomics are outstanding, and yeah, you could wear it on a wrist as small as 14 centimeters, no problem. That's 16 right there. 194.8 grams. You're going to need some muscles to lift it, but not a huge wrist to fit it. So reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.